Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour. Let's talk about the media. Let's talk about news. Yeah, there was an attempt on President Trump, an assassination attempt, and oh my God, it was stopped because they got hold of it. Really? Huh? Why would Iran want to kill President Trump when Iran is in control of everything? It doesn't make sense. Iran doesn't go out and assassinate people. The United States, when President Trump was around, assassinated Soleimani. I mean, so the story that was being told really isn't the truth. So let's go back in time. Let's go back in time for a minute. Back when the radio started, there was the Radio Corporation of America, RCA. And then after that, eventually television became a thing, right? Okay, so the television stations were Westinghouse Corporation. Yeah, Westinghouse Corporation was one of them. The other one was General Electric. Yeah, so you got ABC, NBC, and CBS. Every one of those corporations were tied to the military-industrial complex, which means that if you're going to watch news, it has an agenda. Most news stations do. You take right-wing news, left-wing news, and they like to fight against each other, keeping us divided. So why would this assassination attempt even be tried when Iran is actually winning the war? It makes absolutely no sense. But I want you to think about something, because this is who owns our media corporations now. Top 5 largest media conglomerates and companies in the United States ranked by revenue and market presence. Comcast, Walt Disney, welcome to Hollywood. Warner Brothers, Discovery, Netflix, Paramount, Skydance. They're in the entertainment business. So, don't you think there's a conductor behind the scenes making sure that they paint a picture that looks like this? So let's go through this and debunk it. I got Scott Redder and Danny Haifong. I recommend watching both of them on their own channels, and also Danny Haifong, he's great. But let's get into this one and listen to what they're saying.
The other thing we have to understand is the Iranians, what's happening here is a lot of projection. And the United States is guilty of this, and Israel knows this, so they exploit it. We tend to project onto our opponents our behaviors. We're the ones who assassinate world leaders. We're the ones who, use assassination as a tool of diplomacy. We undermine negotiations by assassinating people. And so, having conditioned the American public to the normalcy of assassination as a matter of public policy, the American public is likely to believe when we project our behaviors onto others whom we deem to be of an evil character, like the Iranians. We say that the Iranians are positioning themselves to assassinate the president of the United States while he's in Turkey. But nobody ever had stepped back and said, why would they do that, especially at this time? Iran just won the war. I mean, when the president showed up in Ankara, the war was over. We lost. We ran out of ammunition. We ran out of, we have no ability to project our, military power meaningfully into the region. We can't seize the Strait of Hormuz. We can't seize Kharg Island. We can't seize Isfahan. We can't do anything, except the longer this war dragged on, the more Iran was able to damage us with ballistic missiles that we couldn't stop. So Iran, having won the war, was now in a position of trying to negotiate the best conflict termination event possible. Understand that that is the priority of Iran. They're not going to surrender their sovereignty. They're not going to, give in to the United States, but they don't want this war to continue. They're looking to bring this war to an end. That's their strategic goal and objective. So why kill Trump? It makes no sense. Now, people say, of course, Iran's threatened to because the United States helped Israel kill the supreme leader, and Trump assassinated Qasem Soleimani, and the Iranians have pledged revenge. But there's a time and a place. The Iranians are strategic thinkers, and they're not going to assassinate a president at the moment he just lost a war. by killing the president, what you guarantee is America will rally around the martyrdom of an American president and bring the wrath of America down on Iran. The last thing Iran wants is America to strategically shift the totality of its capacity to the destruction of Iran, which we would do if they killed our president. And the Iranians know this. So right off the bat, there has to be an intelligence officer inside the inner circle that says, this doesn't make any sense. This is really, really stupid. And where does the intelligence come from? Let's look at it. Let's parse it out. But that wasn't allowed to happen because Israel was the source of this. And Israel went straight to the president's inner circle who cocked up this stupidity. No real intelligence officer worth their salt would have said, this assassination plot makes sense. It doesn't make any sense. And
there you are, folks. Welcome to Hollywood. So when you want to get the news, do yourself a favor. Turn on to the YouTube stations on your television. Go to YouTube. Go to the Conscious Hour and watch what I put out every day. And then also you can go to the Conscious Hour library. And there's a library full of videos, long form videos. And then you can go to shorts and you can look at all those different videos. What I do at the Conscious Hour is identify what the problem is, figure out how the problem was created, what's the solution to fix the problem. And then my dad used to say, if you have a problem, you fix the fucking thing. Well, we don't do that in government. We perpetuate this vision to the world to keep this old archaic machine called the military-industrial complex alive and justify this old business model that's destroying the world. So don't you think it's time we stop playing this old game? Don't you think it's time that we stop playing Republican and Democrat? Don't you think it's time that we bring countries together so we can all live in mutual respect of their sovereignty? And if somebody wants to come in and get their resources, they come in and set up a deal and buy the resources. Why can't we build a world that's based on communication, open trade, and honesty between countries and respect for all sovereign nations? Well, at the Conscious Hour, that's my goal. That's why I created this thing, to bring the world together. So when this thing is all over, we're going to have a reboot. We can't go to reboot 2.0. We cannot go. You drag the old system in, and the old system already owns the goods and services, so big corporations, don't worry. There's a future for you too. You're just going to make money doing your business model a much different way. It's called Peace on Earth. It's called let's build a sustainable world where all countries can achieve their fullest potential without going out and killing each other and trying to rob and pillage them. What do you think about that for an idea? Give me your comments. It's the Conscious Hour. Please leave your comments, leave your suggestions. Ask me what else you'd like me to cover. But most importantly, share this. Hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the like button. Thanks for tuning in to the Conscious Hour.